Hey guys, it's me Guilho. Today I'm coming here with a Chiara guide. This guide will be a bit excessive, so I will have timestamps so you can watch the section that you want. I'll probably also have them on screen right now. This video will contain no gameplay, but I have other Chiara gameplay on the channel. I'll put the link in the description for Chiara gameplay. And let's get right into the video. The abilities. Passive Stigma. When Chiara hits an enemy with a skill, she puts a Stigma stack on them, reducing their defense by a bit. When she has 4 stacks on them, she gains a lot of movement speed. She can really be like a Ferrari, zooming to them. Q, Hand of Corruption. Chiara casts an ability in a cone that slows the enemies, and if she holds the key, she casts it as a skill shot, very long range. Yeah. W, Depraved Prayer. It's a shield that after some damage he can pop for AoE damage. It's like Cyan W shield. E, Mania, it's like Morgana R, but as a single target skill shot. So she targets the skill shots, the chain between you and your enemy. If you don't break the chain, the opponent gets rooted for a long time. R, Plague. This ability does everything, and it's everything in the tank Chiara build. In crit Chiara, Chiara is not so dependent on this ability if she's playing crit, but if she's playing tank, she's absolutely dependent on this ability. So what this ability does is it maxes its HP, does damage in a small circle, life steals 30% of that damage, her auto attacks become ranged, she gains vision on all 4 Stigma stack enemies, and she can recast this ability again for an execute that does true damage. She also jumps to them, and she becomes untargetable during this jump. And if this last R, the second R2, kills them, she gains 50% of the cooldown of the ability back. Skill max order on Chiara is max E, then max W, then Q, then passive. Wait, am I saying this wrong? No, I'm not saying this wrong. Of course, the biggest priority is ultimate, of course, but other than ultimate, it's ultimate E, W, Q, passive. I'm not mistaken. The routes and builds. So I mainly play tank Chiara, and well, these are the builds that I follow, that I use. I also have a crit Chiara over there. Pause the video if you want to check a build in specific, and yeah, I'm gonna go another route, and well, let's get a little bit deeper into the builds. So the main thing you should focus. Now there are actually 2 main things you should focus on when building slash routing with Chiara. The first one is that you need to be real fast looting, because Chiara relies a lot on her items to be strong. At least tank Chiara does. I mean, crit Chiara of course as well. So she really wants to get their items fast. You should not loot an area into oblivion. Even if you don't find XYZ item, just keep walking, go next zone. Number 2 is that you need to adapt to several situations. For example, let's say you pick Hospital 3 or a Cemetery. Actually, I like Cemetery more. Let's say you go Cemetery, so you go Cemetery first area, you go Hospital second, and let's say in Hospital you just don't find any bandages. You teleport, you go Temple, then teleport School, look for 1 bandage at very least so you can complete your weapon. Then you complete your route. Either go Archery Range Alley or Alley Archery Range. Alley Archery Range is probably better if you have not found the Stallion Medal in Temple. If you find the Stallion Medal, you can probably complete the weapon in Alley. Actually, you can complete it in School, because all you need would be a bandage. So you complete the weapon in School, and then you can choose whatever you want to go and go there. Okay, so more stuff you should know. Let's see. Let's say you pick, for example, this exact route. For example, in terms of food, what you can grab is coffee here, alcohol here, make mocha bread. Don't craft mocha bread here, you'll be losing too much time. Try to craft mocha bread later on when you'll actually need it, and after you already have a little bit of strength from your items. Because if you craft it too early, you'll lose way too many items. Remember, items, they do not respawn, so you should really loot fast. If you find one extra needle, and when you find the iron ore, you can just make the basic rapier here, the fencing rapier, for a little bit of extra weapon mastery. It'll also help you get weapon skill earlier. That's also very nice. If you come across turtle shell, you can save it up for to craft mithril helm later on. Where the hell is mithril helm here? Find the turtle shell. You can for upgrades. You also craft Elis in archery range. So you can later upgrade for boots of Hermes, but we'll go over upgrades in a little bit. So let's see. In gameplay. So in terms of gameplay, you should grab any arm. Since you are running with the green arm, you should just grab any arm of people you kill, or of boxes, whatever. As I said, Chiara is very reliant on her items, so you should loot fast. You should kill lots of bears and lots of wolves, because they give you special drops that will help you get the upgrades, extra items and better items that you need. When fighting high-level wolves and high-level bears, you will usually press ultimate to kill them faster and to lose less HP. Because Chiara does not have a good time killing the wolves and bears. She just takes way too long and loses way too much HP. So just press R, then use your R2 to get 50% of the cooldown back. Next, weak line. So when killing weak line, you'll need to kite weak line a little bit. Let's leave here. This little place. You'll need to kite weak line a little bit before pressing ult, because if you press ult straight away, you won't have enough damage to use R2 on the end of wick. So just kite wick a little bit, use your E, use your long range Q, use your shield to not take too much damage, and yeah, kite her a little bit and then press ult and all in wick and kill wick. Yeah, that's about it for gameplay. Upgrades. Your general upgrades will be for arm, for an arm, the Stealth of Sahara, I don't really know the name, the Mithril arm, and then auto arms. For boots, Mithril boots and their Hermes boots, you generally won't change your helmet or your chest because they give you skill reduction and a little bit of armor. Only in very specific scenarios you'd be tempted towards changing. For example, you're facing, for example, Fioras or maybe Jackies if they're not using dual swords. In those specific scenarios, since they're mainly auto attackers, you should consider swapping the armor and the chest and the head piece, but these are very specific scenarios. So let's go over matchups now. So I won't specify on every matchup because, well, Chiara does not have a hard time fighting other characters. She's at a strong position right now. So I will talk about the ones that I have some special gimmick or are simply harder to fight. So, but as a general tip to know when fighting as Chiara, if I'm not specifying here, is that you kite melee characters and you go all in on ranged characters. That's pretty much it. You see ranged character, you go all in. Weapon skill, all in, ult, E, everything. Just kill them. With melees, you'll need to kite them, or otherwise they will just burst you. And yeah, that's about it. It's about the general idea. So into specifics, Jackie. So Jackie is a very complicated matchup. Jackie has a lot of mobility. She has a W move speed steroid. She has a knee to get close. She's going for two-hand swords. She has a parry that can stop your route, so you can even get that close to her without being in danger. So she has all this stuff. So the way you should play it is you should try to burn her W and R with your E route. You should always keep a good distance between you and Jackie. Never let her touch you. And once her W and R are off, you can all in her. She won't be able to lifesteal, I guess. Her W is not really lifesteal, but she gains health back, so she won't be able to, let's say, lifesteal. She won't be able to regain her HP, and if she can do that, she loses the matchup every time. So burn her W, try to burn a little bit of her R. It's not necessary to burn her R, but it's necessary to burn her W, and then you can kill her all in. Still a very hard duelist to fight. So next matchup, Yuki. Yuki is a fairly basic character. He has insane mobility with E, W, E. So you need to be a little bit careful. Just like Jackie, he also has a two-hand sword weapon. So we can, oh, I forgot to put him in. So we can just parry your roots. Oh, it's not this. Ryuki, there we go. So you can just parry your roots.
Now it's my turn.
Next. He does not have any build life steal, so it's easier, but he does have a lot of damage, especially if he's building crit. He can burst you, just like Jackie, so be careful and keep him at bay. Use a range auto attack to your ults, and well, kill him, one-shot him. Don't let him touch you. That's pretty much it. So, next matchup, Choichi. So, Choichi is a hard one to fight, because Choichi has a lot of burst, and if you're not careful, you can burst through your ultimate. So you should try to kite him. And once you see he's out of burst, he's out of abilities on cooldowns, you can go in on him and kill him. If you don't think you can kill him, just run away. And since your ultimate has less cooldown than his ultimate, you can come back when your ulti is up and his ulti is down. Next matchup, Sylvia. Well, Sylvia is a hard one. She has a much more powerful early game to mid game, I'd say. So you won't really be able to kill her. And late game, if she's building crit, she's has higher DPS and you won't be able to kite her. So just hope she's not building a crit tanky build. So if she's building a normal build, like your Sylvias usually do with AMP and stuff, you also don't want to all-in her straight away, because if you just all-in her with ult, she just bikes away and nothing you can do about it. Your root probably won't land because she can break the chain with her high movement speed with bike. So don't all-in her, try to hit 1E or 1Q and then all-in her. Even though you have like your R2 and your rapier skill, she'll probably still be able to run away if you don't do this. If you don't poke her a little bit first. Next matchup, Hygiene. So Hygiene, you have a winning matchup, but I want to refer Hygiene because with the rapier skill, you can follow her E, which is very funny. But it's also very hard to time it, and yeah. You generally have an easy matchup. Try to dodge her Q, her fear stacks. Don't try not to get CC chained, and you should be able to win the matchup easily. Shokai. So with your Banneret and your Amazonas, you should be able to sustain his ultimate. If he has a lot of stacks, that will be hard. You should just run away. But if he's a normal Shokai, you should be able to lifesteal and sustain his ultimate. You'll need to dodge his Q, otherwise it's just way too much damage. His ult plus QE would be way too much damage, so be sure to dodge his Q, and then you can sustain his ultimate. Of course, just like other melees, kiting is optimal, and it's kind of necessary if you don't dodge his Q, so yeah, that's about it. Dodge his Q, you can kill him. If you don't, well, try to run away. Press ult for extra HP and run. Zahir. Well, Zahir, all you need to do is actually just dodge this tornado and his Q, and you can kill him. You can probably still kill him even if you don't dodge the Q, but dodging the tornado is absolutely necessary. If you don't dodge the tornado, you're in a very, very bad spot. Because he hits the tornado, hits the Q, it's like a bunch of damage on you, and you're pretty much in a very bad spot. Next matchup, Nadine. So, Nadine is a weird matchup because it's very different whether you're playing tank or you're playing crit. So if you're playing crit, you can kill her without much effort, but if you're playing tank, you don't have enough DPS to kill her, which is sad. That is if she has a good amount of stacks, at least a decent amount of stacks. So if she has a decent amount of stacks, she can just press E on the ground and auto attack you to death, because she out DPSs you and there's pretty much nothing you can do if you're playing tank and she has a good amount of stacks. She will also have heal reduction, so you'll be in a very, very bad spot. against Nadine. So yeah, if you're playing tank, be careful when all-laning Nadine. If you're playing crit, you should be fine. Well, that's about it for the matchups. I don't even know what Nadine is. What? Nadine is missing. I don't see Nadine. Oh, it's here. Okay, so that's about it for the matchups. Um, Hope you guys enjoyed. Have fun with Chiara. Chiara is a great champion. And yeah, good luck on the Lumia Island.